Hello ladies and gents, and today we're going to talk about one of my favourite all-time shoes versus the new version. So I'll put all the stats and the differences in the comments box. Before we get into the meat of the video, please like, subscribe and share. And also share this video with someone who it might help, because just remember, it might save them some money. Let's start comparing. So, one of my favourite shoes of all time, I'm quite vocal about this. A very good race shoe, all-day shoe, multi-day shoe. Whatever they've done with this midsole is just phenomenal, right? Very soft, very cushioned. Does have its drawbacks though. I've always found the width to be a little bit of an issue. Always pinching on my little toe. Wish they sort of made this shoe in a wide version because, yeah, would be really, really good. And I'd probably still wear it a lot more than what I do now. So, really good shoe. Probably one of their best shoes. I imagine it's one of the shoes that's actually sold the most. You know, it was always, for me, touted as a speed goat on roids, basically, this shoe. Then, we obviously saw the Mafate X. Some people get on with that shoe. Myself and people I know don't really get on with that shoe. Just a little bit too firm. It sort of feels like a shoe that it didn't need a plate. Could have been made a little bit lighter, less clunky. But yeah, it's like a bit of a spin-off. Obviously a carbon plate version of the Mafate. And I was quite disappointed by that shoe, if I'm perfectly honest. The price, but also how it felt after a few hours running in it. I understand that some people do like that shoe. So obviously shoes are personal, and that's always the way with this. And I was always very concerned about what this shoe would be like. But actually, it's not too bad. One thing's quite clear here, and you feel that when you're using the shoe actually, and this is obviously going to come from the bigger drop that this shoe has as well. I think it's an 8 to 9 mil drop. You definitely feel there's a lot of nice cushioning in the heel. The upper's good. The upper's always still been the upper has always been good on the Mafate. The heel collar on this is better. Doesn't sort of have, even though I like the look of this, like the debris catcher, let's call it, they've got rid of that. And they've also added tons of cushioning to this Achilles area, which is, yeah, you know, another pro, let's be honest. Because no one wants blisters, no one wants their Achilles to be rubbing. The thing they didn't get right on this, the tongue. The tongue on the Mafate, nice and thick, very protective as well. Also gusseted, so when we look at that on the Mafate, it's, yeah, that helps with keeping dirt out, obviously. Similar but different on this Mafate. It starts, sort of the gusset starts here a lot lower, so you could still end up with bits and bobs. But what I found in the recent race I did with this, I just found that when I wanted to tighten my shoes, because remember, when we're running for certain periods of time, the upper usually stretches. So as you get on, sometimes you'll notice that you're tightening your shoes just a little bit more. And that was digging into my foot in the recent 50k. But also, what I couldn't do, because usually what I would do then is go for that, you know, that extra eye that's there, thread your lace through that, and then do like that sort of like runner's knot, whatever people call it. But I felt I couldn't actually do that with this shoe, because then it would be lacing straight onto the foot and there'd be no tongue protection. And yeah, not ideal. Whereas with this shoe, you know, hopefully you can see there, still nice and thick and long enough. I don't know why all they need to do here with this tongue, by the way, is make it a little bit longer by like a centimetre. Really enjoyed the drop. The higher drop did suit me with this type of shoe. The drawback I had with this shoe though was just it was a little bit firm in the forefoot area for me personally. Whereas with this shoe, the this is a shoe you can wear all day and it never lets you down. That cushion, yeah, it just lasts so well, and it's so responsive as well. I think this is a shoe that just handles any terrain as well. technical, non-technical, hard pack gravel, roads, etc. Yeah, it's a very, very good all-round shoe. A good training shoe, good race shoe. It just does everything that you want. So, I still think this is a better shoe than this. Just because I know that if I was to go and do a big race, even though I feel the pinch in here, you know, it would still be a good shoe that would serve my needs more than this shoe. Also, another point I found actually this bit rubbing on my big toe, and I've said this in the other video actually, that I feel that this shoe, 10.5, but this actually fits a little bit smaller. I reckon that might have not been an issue if I got an 11. This is obviously heavier as well, but it's a shoe where you sort of don't feel it being as heavy as it is, you know. I think this comes in at about 400 grams for me, which is 10.5, but you don't feel it that much. And this is one of the things about this shoe as well, which was quite a weird thing, is where the forefoot is a bit firmer, it did improve sort of the way I ran, but then it came at a cost later on in the race that actually the balls of my feet hurt a little bit more just because it was firmer. Whereas obviously when you are taking a stride in this, it's just a little bit more cushioned, but sometimes that can hinder your running because you're not pressing into something firm, which is going to help you have a lift off during your gait cycle. So yeah, both good shoes. This for me will be more of a race day shoe still. If I'm doing something big, I'll have this in the drop bag. Always a very reliable shoe. Always my go-to between that and the Ultra Mesa 500. And this will be a training shoe, a long run shoe. I still really enjoy this shoe. I really enjoy the grip element of this. Like, it's just that Vibram Mega Grip on the Mafate. Really good. Really durable, as Vibram grips go for Hoka. And yeah, and more fun to run in from a training perspective. So say if I was doing an uphill tempo session or a bit of a speedier session, I would choose this because I know it would actually improve my running during that session. And yeah, that's my comparison really. That's my, side by side of these shoes. Both good shoes. This for me is still the race day. This is going to be a training shoe and some long runs, and probably a race day shoe that doesn't go above 50k. I think that would be the sweet spot for me with this shoe. As always, this shoe might really suit you if you're a little bit quicker or a little bit lighter. But yeah, Mafate 4 and Mafate 5.